Hello, Facebook land. It is I, Tina Dietz, and I wanted to kind of deal myself as well as talk with you guys about creating safety for ourselves in difficult times. It's been a really interesting couple of weeks, especially here in the US, though I know some reverberations of this are being felt in other places of the world. And good morning, Candy. Thank you for joining me. Yay! Well, so for those of you, I'm feeling a little like my soft nougaty center is exposed here a little bit. Because I wanted to have this conversation with you, but have it in a way that was a bit more on the vulnerable side. So there's a lot of conversation in the world of leadership and leadership training about being a vulnerable leader and what does that mean, and opening ourselves up to greater authenticity, greater connection. And at the same time, as human beings, we've got a little bit of kind of a push-pull as to appearing professional and speaking to our audience and being powerful in the moment. All of these kinds of things can be a little bit of a dichotomy, but we're going to see how they all fit together. So for those of you who don't know, some of my background as a therapist, as well as a voice actor, as well as a business coach, multi-hyphenate, what do you call it, a poly something. I don't know what I'd call it. But from my earliest time in childhood, I created a lot of safety for myself by anthropomorphizing pretty much the entire world around me, which is something that I still do, which means that I have a large collection that started far before I had children of some friends and creatures who have brought me great comfort throughout the years and who have their own wisdom that can only be accessible when you speak in their voice. So that is why I decided to introduce you to one of my friends today. George, you want to come say hi? Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to say hi.
Everyone, I'd like to introduce you to George. George is a black-footed ferret.
Yes, I have.
And George and I have been together for a very long time. And George and I have kind of a backstory that I was going to tell you about.
Wait a minute.
What?
You always get to tell the story. Can I tell the story?
Well, yeah, you can tell the story. That's pretty cool, George. Usually you don't tell the story.
I want to tell my own story. I think it's important that people tell their own stories, not just let other people tell their stories.
Well, that's kind of a breakthrough for you. I'm impressed. I'm impressed, my friend. Well, you go right ahead.
Okay. So, when Tina was training to be a therapist in graduate school, she went to a conference in Washington, D.C., which sounds pretty relevant to what you're talking about, yeah?
Yeah, Washington, D.C. is definitely relevant. Definitely relevant. So, I went to that conference, and, please continue.
Okay. So, I was part of a puppet petting zoo that was set up for the therapist to go shopping. And at the time, I was not feeling so good about myself. I was having a little bit of kind of an identity crisis.
And why were you feeling that way?
Well, you see, I'm a black-footed ferret, which means I'm a carnivore. And I'm also cute and furry. And it's sometimes really hard for people to understand that a cute and furry creature could eat other cute and furry creatures.
Well, yeah, that could be difficult for some people to understand.
But it's just the way I'm made. I have to eat prairie dogs. It's my only real food source besides that creepy ferret chow that they sell in pet food stores. Blech.
Yeah, I know, it's not the same. Not the same.
No, not the same. Anyway, Tina came in, and she saw me, and I saw her, and I could tell there was a kind of connection between the two of us. And when we connected, something really special happened.
Yeah, I felt that too. It was a special moment.
Yes, it was. Well, you see, when she and I connected and we started talking, a couple of other people started coming up, and connecting with other carnivores who were there at the puppet petting zoo. There was a wolf and
I think there was a fox, was it?
oh yeah, there was a fox. There was a fox. And so we started talking, all of us, about our difficulties being perceived as carnivores, even though we were cute and furry. And it was like a carnivore support group just kind of broke out, and it was really great. It was really made me feel so much better, like I was connected with everybody.
Yeah, it was really spontaneous too.
Yeah, it was totally spontaneous. And I think what happened is that people, when they saw us connect, they felt that connection too, and they started looking for that connection. And then they could find that connection. And then they could feel more comfortable talking about what they were feeling really on the inside.
So if I get this, what you're saying is that when people really connect with each other and they allow themselves to be a bit vulnerable and they find that common space of humanity or animality,
Whatever.
okay, then maybe that acts as a mirror to other people, makes them feel more comfortable and kind of stepping forward.
Yeah, I think that's true. I really think that's true. I do.
Well, I think that's a good place to start. I think that's really, really good. So how else can we help people feel more safe? Because safety is really important, right?
Yes, it's super important. We really do need to feel safe. And safety is one of the most important things we learn when we're very, very little.
Yeah. And let's, can I get a little clinical for a minute?
Yeah, you go ahead. Go for it.
Okay. So, we talk about safety being one of the most important things that we develop early in childhood. And Erickson, who came up with these different stages of development, said that we had this kind of decision to make that we go through in the ages 0 to 2.
Yeah, 0 to 2.
That we decide if the world is a safe place or not. And many people, including myself, didn't fully go through that stage successfully. So we're left with this sense of distrust of the world. Like the world wasn't really there for us, to support us. And so when we feel unsafe, it kind of shakes the foundation of everything else that we do. So, and that's why sometimes it's important to look back to our childhood and find those things that made us feel safe when we were kids. And that can actually trigger a physiological response, a neurological response, an emotional response, and help us then move past that childhood, that unsafe space that we may have had, into our adult mind, into our adult being, where we then can take care of that younger part of ourselves. Some of my favorite therapeutic techniques involve either inner family work or parts therapy, where we kind of allow ourselves to distinguish those pieces of ourselves and even the voices in our head. I've been known to have board meetings.
They go on for hours sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes they do. And so when I bring out George or I bring out some of my other critters, it's really to help us connect in a different way that allows us to empathize, but we're really empathizing with ourselves. We're really empathizing with our own humanity. And, and so what other things how about you guys? What makes you feel safe? What are some of the things that you rely on that are good for you? Sometimes we over-rely on things like food or even sexual contact or some of the things that may or may not serve us. Sometimes it serves us, sometimes it doesn't. But what are some of the things that serve you that have you feel more safe, more grounded, more connected? I know here on Facebook, one of the things I found myself doing the last week is seeking connection on Facebook. But the hazard of that is that as much as I'm seeking connection, a lot of the things that I'm seeing are also very stimulating and very provoking. So it kind of goes back and forth. So,
oh, Christine says she relies on Laughter and Friends. Laughter and Friends sound great. Yay! I really like Laughter and Friends.
Yeah, I do too, George. I think it's really important. especially for those of us who, tend to feel very intensely. I think I was in my late 30s before I really understood that different people have different capabilities for feeling emotion and for opening ourselves up to sensation. Some people, we're so individual in how we feel different emotions and all of that. Candy tells us that those who come from a heart-centered and soul-centered space, she's looking for people to connect with that. Yeah, exactly. And we feel that. Yeah, just like you and I felt that connection in that puppet petting zoo all those years ago. What was that, like 15 years ago?
16.
16 years ago. Kind of amazing. So, creating safety is also very much a physiological response, as I mentioned before. So we need to take care of that kind of base of the Maslow, pyramid, the safety and security, before we start making decisions on top of it. And that, again, can be kind of a
Dichotomy.
Yes, a dichotomy, because we want to make decisions right away. We want to push forward. We want to do things. We want to change the environment. But if we're making those decisions on top of feeling unsafe or insecure, we might be snowballing the situation to make it worse rather than make it better. So taking care of those safety issues is very much physiological and emotional on top of that, and even spiritual on top of that. It's got all these layers.
Lots of layers.
Yeah, totally lots of layers. So I think that George and I were going to go and he wanted to sing you one of his favorite songs about one of his things that makes him feel really safe. So you want to do that song?
Yeah. Can I sing? I want to sing with you guys. Okay. All right. This is a song that we used to sing the kids to help them feel safe. It's about one of my favorite things. My cozy blanket.
Anybody out there still have a blankie? Blankies are good. Blankies are very good. Blankies help us feel lots of different things.
Oh, look, I'm Little Ferret Riding Hood.
You're a riot.
I know.
Okay, so you're going to sing the song?
Yes, but I also have a backup singer.
You have a backup singer. Who's going to come and sing backup?
Hedgie's going to sing backup.
Oh, Hedgie. Okay, all right. Let's bring Hedgie out.
Hedgie, come on. Introduce yourself. Hello. My name is Hedgie. How are you?
Hedgie really likes to sing. His two favorite songs are the aria Habanera from Carmen and Moves Like Jagger by Maroon 5. So he's gonna help George sing backup. So I would encourage you, if this song appeals to you, you can sing it with your own cozy blanket at home. Not kidding, guys. This stuff works. So, all right, ready? Ready? Hit it.
Oh, I love my cozy blanket 'cause it keeps me warm. Keeps me warm. I love my cozy blanket 'cause it keeps me warm. Keeps me warm. I love my cozy blanket 'cause it keeps me warm. Keeps me warm. I love my cozy blanket 'cause it keeps me warm at night. Warm at night. I love my blanket 'cause it is so cozy. It keeps me nice and warm to my head and my toesies. Now I never worry about getting frozy 'cause it keeps me warm at night. Warm at night. Yay! Yay! Okay, so the message for today. Connect with other people. Look into their eyes. Their eyes. Look into their eyes. And when you get nervous or when you feel afraid, take care of those younger parts of yourselves that don't feel safe. It's okay. You can have the grown-up part of you take care of the little part of you. And if you're not sure, you can always talk to Tina. She likes to help. She's very helpful. Yes, she's very helpful. I like her a lot.
I like her a lot, too.
Yeah, she's good. Okay.
All right. If your stuffed animals say nice things about you, is that bragging? I'm not sure. Strange thing. And yes, Tammy, I'd be happy to adopt you. Okay. All right, guys. Mwah. Mwah. Okay, there's a kiss from them, kiss from me, And a big hug to you guys. Take good care of yourselves, okay? Connect with other people, connect with yourselves, and remember to take care of those younger parts that might be crying out and have something to tell you. Listen to them carefully. Listen to yourself, and you'll be able to listen more to others as well. And this is a lesson that I'm obviously actively practicing right now at the same time. So have a wonderful day. Talk to you soon.